Maybe play some video games. Maybe hunt down some pretty girls. Not sure. What are you doing?
Well, me? I'm gonna go watch some classic horror. I'll tell you about it in a bit when I get back.
Maybe I should review a movie. What genre should I do?
Why don't you just do a mass killer review of some haunted house movies or something?
Maybe we should just cut to my intro and we'll talk about his crap after. About time. Right, kill to the left, kill to the right, stand up, sit down, fright. So he told me you do haunted house stuff? Okay, there's no mask, but the house is the killer. It's like a big mask on the ground, right? Anyways, William Catt plays Roger Cobb, who's a struggling writer. He gets this really big house, and he has to start writing it, and all sorts of little strange events start happening in it. I don't want to tell you much, because this movie is really fun. The effects are great for the time period. I believe this was out in 1985. Or was it 86? Not quite sure right now. But anyways, I do highly recommend this one. If you want haunted house spookiness, this does have an R rating, so there's a little bit more gore than, some of that PG-13 crap. Anyways, also something cool. Steve Miner, who is also the director of Friday the 13th, Part 2, 3, and a whole bunch of other stuff. Kind of was a little bit of a staple in developing the slasher horror. Anyways, what I say is get all spooky, turn off the lights, inject some MJ, and check out House. Holy crap, I just finished watching House 2, the second story. Oh man, it's a Sean S. Cunningham production. It was written and directed by Ethan Wiley, and it has John Ratzenberger in it. The guy who played Cliff from Cheers. Well, he kind of plays this plumber guy or something like that. And he comes on in and he deals with all the little ghost entities and weird portals in this fun movie because it's another writer having trouble writing in a haunted house. But it's still fun. Just as fun as part 1. The effects are great. 1980s. Rubber was used and all the other prosthetics, so they look pretty good. None of that CGI stuff. This stuff is gold. So check out House 1, House 2, and go have a spooky night.
Maybe we should cut to the intro, and then we'll talk about it. Destroyer, Nemesis, Night of the Demons, The Keep, The Vampire Lovers, Q, Decisions. Hey, I'm back. I just came back from Silver City Stoney Creek. Checked out some classic movie cinema over there. Doing a classic series over there, so for their Halloween special, they had The Mummy, Universal Horror, Classic Horror, and then as a bonus, The Wolfman, which was totally awesome. But when I went up and paid for this stuff, the double feature at this big chain only cost me $6. So I'm not really going to tell you much about the movies because everybody knows about these classic movies, or you should. And if not, go check out The Mummy. Back in the 1930s and 40s, they actually released about, I think, 4 of these mummy movies. But yeah, it's Karloff classic. But it was really cool. It was like they had a nice poster, and even in between the show, they had a cool little 10-minute intermission before the next movie started, which was just cool. And I am so excited about this event. I can't wait to go to another one. Like they're going to be showing Gone with the Wind. But the great thing about this, it was packed. It was about, I'm going to say a good 2/3 of the theater was full in this big chain Silver City up here in Canada. A lot of people brought out their whole families. There was tons of kids there. And you know what? Maybe these movies are ideal for family watching. It's classic, it's terrifying, it's wholesome. Back then it was terrifying, but not much anymore. But there's just something about being able to watch those movies from those eras. Being an antique collector guy, I couldn't help but notice the beautiful pieces in the set. The funny thing, when I was watching The Mummy back in during getting towards the end, when the mummy's doing all the spell stuff to immortalize Helen, is that I kind of kept laughing at all in her hair, how it was curled, but it looked like it was 666 in certain scenes where it was just 3 6s, which I kind of thought was funny. And when you looked at her on front, there was just a whole bunch of 6s on her front there. Then and then we also had the chance to watch The Wolfman with Lon Chaney. And Bela Lugosi was in there. I didn't really notice that before, but he played the gypsy that got killed. So, if you ever get a chance to check out these classic cinema things over at Silver City, go to them. It only cost me $6. Sadly, I'm probably going to go see Gone with the Wind. Isn't that horrifying? Yeah, I really just did that.